Hello and welcome, as it is the 20th of August 2018. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. And in this video, a quick look at the short-term Bitcoin chart and some math questions. Just for something to do because I was bored. Anyway, 15-minute time frame. The market fell from this, it broke this trend line. We can see the low here, 615, higher low, higher low. Then it made this higher low again and unable to get past the 18 on this move, breaking down, decent size move to the downside. And that's fully to be expected, that when you have a move up or down, it's going to come relatively quick. Now, what this has done on the 3-hour time frame is it's put a lot of cautionary signs in, because as there was a V-shape formation. It's obviously been breaking the uptrend lines. It is barely, but has broken below this level of support. So some stops being triggered, people starting to sell for obviously short-term reasons. Of course, everyone who's been holding on over the last many of days and months who haven't sold at 6,000, they're not going to be selling any of this. But it definitely is stating that the move from at least the lows from the middle of this chart to the highs have looked like it could be exhausting. Now, of course, waiting for the market to get above this resistance, well, it didn't happen. So that's one of the strategies, and waiting for such a spot, because if you were to break this resistance and it's just barely above it, like around 6,700, 66 high, even 6670-ish, then you would have a good chance of having decent gains quickly thereafter. Overall, it's at this level of support. We could be just playing a lot more neutral time. We got some support down where it went to 6230, but this level of key support. But if this thing, when we look at this, say on a daily chart, you see it leave the 18 average, stay and holding for many hours below 6,200, I would be lot more concerned that it's going to have a decent leg moving thereafter. So time for some mathematics, like in a school format. And the first question, say you're holding 3,140 of an altcoin, and the last trade was 568. What would its Bitcoin value be at that time? Number 2, you have a sell order at $5.99 with a 0.1% commission, and it hits. A equals keeping the Bitcoin value the same from what it had before. How many do you sell? Integer, or that no decimals will be used. Number 3, you place a buy order at 502 after the sale. Buy order is the maximum you can buy with which you would have got from the sale, subtract what the answer for number 2 was, which is A, divide that by 2, but there's actually a bit more to that. You also have to add A to that as well. What you're doing there is you're basically trying to accumulate more of what you sold, but also profit take base currency 50-50. So the answer to these questions, starting with the first one, is if you take 3,140, multiply 0.000000568, 5 zeros. You get 0.0178352. Within Satoshi, there is 8 total decimals. So if you're looking at a 3-digit Satoshi number, there's 5 before it. If something is around 3,000 Satoshi, there is 4,000. 50,000 Satoshi, 3 decimals beforehand. So question number 2. You have a sell order at $5.99. How many would you sell in here? And there's 2 correct answers. either that of 162 or 163. It works out to about 162 and a half when you do the math. For what we're doing is the same thing. We're doing as we did before. 0.50 is 599, multiply 3140. That gets you about 0.18, about 0.188-ish area, or 186. And then you divide that number by the amount, or by the Satoshi of 0.0000599, it would work out to about 162 and a half. So either one of these two answers would be correct. And the third question, of course, or adding a on top of that as well. And we'll use the correct number of 162 for the sale. The sale that you would have got when you take 162 multiply the price of $5.99 and then the commission, you would have received this amount in Bitcoin. So now what we do is we take that amount, divide it by the 502 buy, and then multiply 0.999 those for commission purposes. And that answer gives us 193. So we take 193, subtract 162. The differential there is 31. So we divide that number by 2. That gives us 15 and a half. So if we add that number to 162, that would give us 177 and a half. So either way, that would make 177 or 178 the correct area, or the correct number. And that is the mathematics for today. I don't think too many schools are going to use questions within this type of level. Although I wish, when I look back at school, that there were mathematical questions like this based on stock market trading. For given the idea in the 1990s to myself that it's a game in which, keyword game, that you can play on a mathematical level. And then the more mathematical principles you put into your game, well, the better then that makes your game and ability to profit. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.